Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 46 of Red Dirt and Stardust, a Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition cowboy and pirate campaign. So, where last we left off, the group had finally gotten together and were asked to come to the tower by Mayor Yvonne, where they met Chauncey's older brother, Silas, along with some other accomplices. They mentioned that they knew of the predicament of the pages of the Liber Logaeth, as they were aware of a secret organization within their own organization of the Night Riders called the Claw that were serving Orcus. Orcus had tasked them with finding a page from the Liber Logaeth that contained information about him and destroying it. They were asked to assist in finding one of the outside groups that these Claw members were working with called Gunpowder Witches, which had apparently formed a coven. They were whisked away to Rusty Cross on Amarillo, close to where Lyla was asked to go for her thing with the huckster. They were then put up in the Tired Trot, a tavern at the very edge of town, and were supplied with horses and wagons completely for free, as well as free room and board for the night. However, in the night, Lyla caught the end of a conversation that was happening underneath her window, and it discovered that Hamish, the halfling that ran the Tired Trot, was indeed a were pony. However, the long rest has not ended quite yet, as in the room next door, something else is going on. So, what is it exactly that is going on before we move to morning?
So, is there possibly like a bedside table or anything in this room, or is it just the two beds?
Yes, there's the two beds, and then in between them is a bedside table. It would be shared.
Okay. So Chauncey's gonna like drag the bedside table a little bit towards the center, and he's just gonna after they both I feel like there's a lot of like awkward like turn my back so you don't see me getting changed, or I don't acknowledge if you watch me getting changed, sort of like that kind of like, oh, modesty. Um, but he's gonna turn back and he's just like, can I show you something?
Uh, yeah.
Um, and
I think we're
it,
both shirtless for just the vibes
Of
to make it
course.
more like a fan fiction.
Of course. That's what I
oh,
was just thinking.
We're in
because
this hotel room and there's only one bed, Chauncey.
I mean, there's two beds, Jed.
Jedidiah burns the second bed.
Let him live his
Burns the
fantasy.
hotel to the ground.
I didn't. Chauncey hasn't. You're not wearing Virgil's face still,
No,
right?
I'm just
Okay.
Jed now.
Okay. He's just like, what's Jed's build look like?
Twunkish.
Okay. We vibe. We vibe. It doesn't really matter. There's all the tattoos everywhere, and he's like, oh, I don't
Yeah.
need that many. But Chauncey's gonna like rifle around in one of his bags, or his primary bag of holding. He only really has the two. He has the one of all the adventuring stuff, and literally the one of just like fucking pillows and sheets and random like camping shit. But he's going to pull out this cylindrical contraption from the bag, and he's just going to be like, "Okay, you sit there."
Okay.
And Chauncey's gonna plop it in the center, like it's kind of centered in the room at this point. Is this cylindrical contraption, and he's going to like scamper onto the bed opposite side of where Jed's sitting, and he's just going to like tap it a few times, and he's going to like, back in Creator's Hollow, I know it's been a bit, but you asked me, I know that we had a fight, and you asked me what we were to each other, and I kind of deflected, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of what I do, but I'm not like you. I'm not good with words or people that well, but I figured if I couldn't tell you, and he's gonna tap it like two more times to get his whatever the Artificer thing is that allows you to do minor enchantments on items
Oh,
and
that thing. Yeah.
cantrips.
Yeah.
The light one specifically, as this cylinder raises up like a weird, like Christmas tree of spinning cutouts, almost like a strange lantern mixed with a zoetrope, as light and shadow starts playing around the room into a series of silhouettes dancing along the walls. And it's very obvious, these silhouettes and these shadows that are playing around. There's like a small little figure with like two pointy teeth as one of the primary shadow figures. The other one is a similarly sized one, but that has two little horns coming off the top of its head. I figured I'd show you. And it's just playing around, like, yet again, like pop culture reference. Have anyone seen the Sleepy Hollow scene where the mom plays a lantern, spinning lantern for her son to entertain
Yes.
him? That's the vibe we've got going on here as you see these scenes from your past playing out along the wall. Chauncey got like dirty 20s on all of his checks, so it's
Yeah.
giving.
Yeah, it's beautiful. There's all of these scenes, and of course, Jed, because of your little deal with Mazarendael, you can identify all of these moments, and you have the vivid memories of those moments that have been gifted to you. But it's clear Chauncey made this under the impression that you did not remember these moments at all. Um,
Yeah.
Also, there's
Um
like a little music box in there that's lightly, gently playing like their song from when they were younger.
whatever that may be.
Yeah.
I think like at first Jed is just like very taken aback and like genuinely thinks this is like gorgeous. Um and then he remembers like I'm not supposed to remember any of this. And also like I trying to like, you know, the fires is ignited and we're this isn't what I'm here for. and and so he
Mhm.
kind of forces himself to thanks, Chauncey. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I
Ah,
appreciate it.
If
Uh
you look, and Chauncey's gonna point out to one of them, he's gonna be like, I know you don't remember, but there was a Yule once where we went to an orphanage and you dressed up as a Yule goblin, delivered toys to the kids that I made. And that was a good one. And over there was that time that we stole one of the hippocamps from the docks and we went joyriding. And I mean, those are some of them. And then he's Chauncey's gonna stop when he points to one and he's like, when we were, gosh, I don't, we were 15 or 16. Your sister, she broke one of the taps at the tavern and she had been in so much trouble with your mom lately and back talking because we were all teenagers back then. And Jed, you took the fall for her. And I was there right alongside you. And it was just, you're a better man than you know. And there's,
that like I think when you say that, Jed just like turns his back to you. like, like that line hurt.
and Chauncey's like, obviously, he kind of stops at that and he's like, oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not better. I'm not what you the nice kid that you remember, Chauncey. This is very sweet, but
I know you don't, but and the bigger ones along the wall. When we were about, God, 11 or 12, I knew who I wanted to be, but I couldn't tell my mom. She'd been talking about pulling me out of school and going full-time apprentice at the clinic because I was the first one of us who had the aptitude for medicine, really. And I had been at nights, I'd been helping out and studying, and I had the studies for school and the studies for, I mean, the school that we went to wasn't actually all that hard, let's be honest. But she wanted me to she wanted me to be go into the family business. She wanted me to run the clinic with her. She wanted me to be a doctor. But I didn't want that. And I couldn't tell her that. I didn't want to disappoint her. I didn't want to fight with her. I didn't want to, despite how today went, I didn't want to turn into another version of my brother to her because that's a whole lot of family mess that we're still haven't unpacked. I couldn't tell her, Jed, and you did for me. You were all of 4'5" of fire and brimstone as you went right up to the oldest creature in Create Creature, my mother, in Creator's Hollow, and you talked to her just like you were on equal footing about. You stood up for me. You were brave when I couldn't be brave.
You're muted.
I stood up for you because I was angry. I'm always angry, Chauncey. And we got lucky that time. Your mom came around to it. But things are different now, okay?
Can you
And
tell me that to my face?
yeah, Jed will like slowly turn around, I think, like doing his best to like kind of hold back tears. And and he just looks at you and says, I'm not that kid anymore. I have a lot that I need to do, and a lot of it isn't good. I'm not good. I, Chauncey, I remember everything.
What?
Mazaran lifted your mother's tampering of my memory. I remember it all. And I didn't tell you. I'm not what you remember anymore, Chauncey.
The poignant neigh in the background.
I don't even want to know what that's about.
Jed, you keep telling me that I'm a good person, and I need you to know I'm only this way because of you. When the first day I met you, I didn't think people were worth a dime, worth a pence, worth the time. My parents kept pressing on me, use your gifts to help people, and I didn't think they were worth it until I met you. So that's worth something.
Once we handle all of this, you should leave town.
And he's saying that completely straight face, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Chauncey's definitely like, he thought, oh, and then he's like, oh, Jed. But Jed was also the one who didn't turn away when he confessed, hey, I helped commit genocide at one point. But Chauncey's just like, if that's what you want. But when we were in that Cloud Giant Palace, you hesitated. So maybe there's more of the old you in there than you want to admit right now.
just kind of nods and I think turns away again and walks over to his bed and lays down.
The music comes to a slow stop,
Hmm.
and Chauncey's just gonna snap his fingers to let the light fall before he's gonna climb into his own bed on the other side of the room that barely has walking space between the two beds.
Yeah, it's like it's really awkward. Like if you rolled over too hard, you might end up on the other bed.
Yeah. Mm. I mean, Chauncey's just gonna, go to bed feeling deflated. But I don't know. Still like he's like, I think I saw a crack there at one point, maybe. That's fine. That's all.
This
All
will
right.
they, won't they is going to kill me.
I'm sure it's going to kill a lot of people. Anyway, so the night comes to a close. The morning sun rises on a beautiful day, and you all head down for a lovely breakfast of cinnamon rolls with apples chunks in them. Um, Plenty of icing. They're big old cinnamon rolls. Um, I'm sure Adrien, you're up first.
Yeah, as always.
As you come down, and it looks like Sandra is kind of finishing up the cinnamon rolls. You do see kind of coming in from the back and quickly darting upstairs is a Hamish, um, the owner of the establishment, darting by really quick. His hair is full of wheat, just wheat coming out of his hair, and he looks muddy as he just darts up the stairs. And that's all you see of him. The rest of you come down eventually and have your lovely breakfast. Um, and at this point, you do see Hamish come down. He's in a brand new set of clothes. Of course, Adrien, you would assume that he cleaned himself up.
Yep.
Um, and he comes down and, well, hope you all enjoyed breakfast. Uh, as far as I'm aware, I was informed you were heading over to Stag Chapel. It's about a 12-hour ride, so if you go now, you'll probably make it by what, 8 p.m.?
Sounds good. Although, Lyla, do you need some more time to, pamper?
Are you saying, is there something wrong with my face or what? No,
Um,
I'm fine. Let's get this damn trip over with another whole day of riding. Here we go. I
all
hope the
right.
two of you got your rest.
Hmm.
Oh wait, if you're referring to Chauncey and Jed, Chauncey's acting a little bit like a wounded puppy.
Mm, mhm.
Not too much though. Just it's a little like there's a little bit of a sting.
It's noticeable.
Adrian goes up to Jedidiah and whispers, "What did you do to him?"
Nothing. We just talked.
Okay. Well, he looks pretty roughed up for someone who just talked.
He can be emotional.
Okay. Well, let's all get going.
God damn.
So you all have your things loaded into the cart. Um, and you all are off. So we're gonna do that once again, that whole thing with the contested, well, not contested, the group checks. So who is
Right.
doing what?
I'll do investigation, I guess, to keep check of the area.
All right, I'll take it. Everyone else?
That is gonna
Singing
be
a song.
All right, performance check.
I got a 21.
All right. There are quite a few forks in the road as you all go along. Some of them are not signposted at all. Um, but from your memory of the map, You know the general direction that you all are supposed to be going, and it becomes very easy to kind of pick out the way that you are supposed to go. So that will not be a problem. Performance check while we wait on the others to choose what they're doing.
That is a 19.
All right. Are you playing an instrument? Are you singing? Are you what you doing?
You know what? Actually, yeah, let's play an instrument. We've sung quite a lot. That didn't go great. Let's do a jaunty saw on the viol.
It's a very lovely song on the viol. As you all trot along, it makes the time pass a little faster.
Yeah.
I
I feel
got a
like
nat 20 on stealth.
All right. So you manage to point out some shadier spots to go by, some rocks in the road to avoid bumping to keep from creating loud noises, that sort of thing. You might also notice when the horses are a little bit tired or thirsty or hungry and manage to warn the group so they can deal with it before they start protesting too loudly.
I got a 23 on a nature check.
All right. You managed to find some very good places for the horses to graze. Um, and they seem pretty happy and content, as well as some clean water for them to drink. Um, you managed to spot some trees that if you got too close might have fallen over, as they might have been a bit dead. Um, but otherwise, you all make it to this lovely little town. It's quite forested. There's almost a semicircle of forest around it, the path ahead leading out of the crescent. The grass is a lovely dark green, and there's a lovely little church on the hill. It's painted white, and so it stands out. It's almost a beautiful painting as you ride into town. These lovely little quaint little houses. Um, there's one that's clearly sort of centered around this little fountain that has a statue that's been painted white as well. It's a statue of a deer, with a beautiful set of antlers and these little fountains that come out of the side. It's very lovely. And you have made your way to Stag Chapel. The large building is signposted as the Whitehead Lodge, and it's very clearly the sort of tavern inn of the place. You notice a lot of the places around it seem to be growing pumpkins or gourds of some kind. Um, but there's also plenty of signs that this is a sort of hunting town. There's probably quite a lot of deer in the woods that they hunt for pelts and antlers and meat and things like that. But there's also a healthy community of people who grow pumpkins and gourds and other such things as you all kind of pull in. Um, so now that you are here, what would you all like to do?
um
Well, we've been riding for 12 hours. Is there anywhere we can
rest.
bathe or something? Have we bathed? We've been traveling for like 2 days now, right?
Only a
I
day.
feel
Well,
like
12
we
Oh
hours,
would
I
yeah,
should say.
it's only been a day because we teleported to the first place. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we would have like some ravines or whatnot that we could bathe in.
I mean, you could have bathed back at the Tired Trot, if you
Sure.
wanted to. It was more of a communal bathroom situation. But you could, get a quick hygiene session in before heading out or, a nighttime routine in. But it seems like the Whitehead Lodge is the place to go.
All right. Well, then to the lodge.
All right.
Do, 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 do.
So as you head on in, it is a little crowded in this place. A lot of people are there drinking, a lot of people are there eating. You can definitely smell a lot of meat cooking. This place has tons of deer heads up on the wall, as well as some other things. There's a few foxes, there's a few like geese and things like that that are taxidermied up there, but it's mostly deer. Um, and as you get on in, you see there's a very large Goliath that is washing out a stein, as bartenders are wont to do. And you notice above the bar is a long sword that is sort of hanging in a sort of place of prize. And underneath of it is a wanted poster. It just has, interestingly, the picture of a sawmill and a reward with wanted over top. And then underneath, adventurers for hire to deal with the haunted sawmill.
Ooh, interesting.
For a moment there, I was wondering if someone was trying to put a mill in prison.
A what? I'm sorry.
A mill. The
Oh, a
mill.
mill in prison.
Yeah. It's,
Oh,
the the fine print was a bit small.
yeah.
This time, Adrian points to the wanted poster and says, "Well, this looks like a good place to start."
Start what? I'm not starting anything tonight.
If it's
Um,
haunted, though, nighttime would be the better time to go.
What's that reward say?
what does the reward say?
It does not actually say a reward on it, but the Goliath does pipe up and just 1,000 gold and that sword on the wall. It's a sword of dragon slaying, if it makes it any more convincing.
I was wondering what the story behind it might be.
Yep.
Um, what do you guys think? Should we go?
I mean, honestly, just gonna whisper, we're kind of rich.
Right, but we're also here to find witches, and we're better than a haunted mill.
Fair point.
I think I could probably hurt something. That might make me feel a little better.
Okay, so we're
I'm
doing
gonna go punch a ghost. The ghost, the most cathartic of things to punch.
As opposed to Jedidiah down south.
Hmm. It sounds like you're interested.
Yeah, we're interested.
I suppose.
We say very blasé.
Just killing stuff, like fine.
Where would this mill be?
Well, the mill is going to be closer to the river back that way. And he kind of jerks his thumb behind him past the bar. Um, Given the placement in the town, it's going to be past the little white church on the hill. Yeah, it closed like I think 10 years ago, but I guess something wasn't too happy, and so it's been lurking around.
Hmm. Well, looks like we're going to a haunted mill. Sounds like a good, fun activity together.
And at this point, you notice there's a hexblood that is sitting at the bar. Kind of has a gun over his shoulder, a shotgun, a sort of crown of what appears to be wood branches that are kind of in the shape of almost like too many pronged deer horns. Hopefully, you're good at ducking. I tried going up there. That thing started throwing axes. Just so that you know. That's how I got this one. And he pulls up his arm, and there's a huge scar across his arm. That is like at least 5 shades lighter than his green skin tone. And it's like almost like someone put a wire under his skin. It's just puffed up that much. It's a bit nasty.
How long ago did you get that injury?
And maybe like 2 years.
Oh, what? Does your town not have a... John, can I medicine check like the scar tissue?
Eh,
Yeah, you certainly can.
To be fair, he is a hex blood, so not exactly the healthiest race.
Well, they're half hags, so there's a few side effects.
17.
Okay. Yeah, it's healed and it's probably not going to get infected again, but it was probably like he probably dealt with it like field medicine, like in the middle of combat. Get it closed, get it clean, make sure it doesn't bust back open. He wasn't at home applying all of the different things to it. He wasn't rechecking his stitches. He wasn't doing anything like that. This was very clearly a get out, sit down, do as much as possible so that you don't have to chop off the arm. This was field medicine in the middle of combat kind of thing.
Oh. And did you see what caused this? Did you get a good look at it?
Something big.
Okay, how about some descriptors for me? Was it big and spectral? Was it big and hairy? Was it big and scaly?
From what I remember, it was big and shadowy,
Big and
but
shadowy. That is a start.
yeah, looked kind of like just a big lumberjack made of shadows.
Big lumberjack made of shadows. Sound familiar to anybody?
Fun plot twist. No.
Well, if you're gonna try and get rid of it, all the luck to you. It was probably stupid of me to try and do it one person only, but
Above board, who of us are good at acrobatics?
None
I'm
of
kind
us.
of good at everything.
Probably Lyla will have the best acrobatics check.
I have a +2 and wait. Oh no, wait, hang on. I have a +5 in acrobatics.
Okay, good. So it looks like Lila's gonna go in first.
What? Why?
Because if an axe is gonna get thrown at us, then you're the most acrobatic to, dodge it.
I'll go in first. The axe won't hit me.
True. Yeah, nothing. You.
What if we send in what is her name? The doll?
Lovey May.
Lovey May. He would probably think she's possessed and think it's like one of its own.
I like to think during that whole emotional scene the night before, Lovey May is just standing in the corner with arms folded. Like, just very
And
politely,
you all have just been ignoring her.
just standing there. I mean, we can't helping people, right? Helping people is a good thing to do.
That felt pointed.
I was gonna say.
I, for one, am against this whole thing, but I'm only one vote because we're just here for the witches, not for ghost lumberjacks.
You really don't think a ghost would have information about witches?
What would make you think that? Why would do all ghosts just know about witches? Most ghosts can't even talk; they just shriek at you.
I forgot that you're a ghost expert.
I thought we were just excited about beating the shit out of stuff. Is that not what we were doing?
I'm with Valacar over here personally.
Oh, hi, Valakar.
Yeah, hi.
Holy shit,
Hang on,
what
what?
happened?
Oh, yeah, hi. Sorry, I do that sometimes.
He was here the whole time. What are you talking about?
You know what? I was here the whole time. What are you talking about? Deception check.
Sure, just
I'll give you the help
gaslighting.
action.
Yeah, I'm glad I got that help action. I'm gonna re-roll that shit. That's better. How about a 19?
Just gaslighting someone to thinking they're mentally ill.
I have not had enough to drink. And he kind of knocks back.
Yeah, me.
Well, I heard you were also talking about witches.
Yeah, that's kind of our whole deal, actually. So,
Yeah, I heard there were some that passed through here a while ago.
They happen to have guns.
Weirdly enough, yeah, they did. They passed by rather quickly, though.
Where did they go? Which direction?
It looks like they went towards Serenity Rock.
Hmm. Well, Jed, it looks like you're in luck. We can't exactly waste time on a haunted mill when we have to catch up to those witches.
Isn't Serenity Rock the next part on the journey anyway, though?
It is.
And we can't ride the horses any longer today. So
No, probably not.
Okay, looks like we're going to the mill anyways.
Mill is in foot distance, so Chauncey's at this point is just like, Falcar, you want to go to the mill? I don't want to keep talking.
One target's as good as the next.
All right. So yeah, Chauncey's just gonna out of his bag, he starts pulling the handle of Pyre Maul as it comically lurches out.
Balakar just tossing his dagger, he's just flipping his dagger in his hand.
The Hexblood just looks at his drink and just downs the rest of it before slamming it. Well, best of luck to you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Well, off we go.
Does anybody know which way we're actually going?
Yes, he gave us directions.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't paying attention. So, do you want to maybe?
Yes,
Okay.
by all means.
Yeah, let's onward.
Tally-ho.
Party? I feel like we're not a particularly effective band of adventurers, are we?
Eh. Um, we do seem to leave a lot of dead bodies behind us, so I guess it
Actually-
depends on your measure of success.
That is concerning because we're supposed to take one of the witches alive.
We'll figure it out.
We're not very good at taking people alive. Even someone who's trying to not fight back, we wind up. Yeah, that was me. Oh, well.
Yeah. So,
Figure it out.
So as you all make your way up the sort of forested path, it's winding through the woods. The moon is beginning to rise as you all are making your way. It's about, probably about 10 o'clock. At some point, you hear a horrible scream. It's angry. It's pained. And then there's a moment of silence. And I guess, Valakar, you still have the highest perception, right?
Passive is 20, yeah.
Yep. You see 3 figures that appear to be on broomsticks with pointy hats fly up across the moon and then off into the distance.
He just, I guess, like, right as he hears the scream and sees that, if Adrien is in the lead, he just, like, grabs his collar and, like, yoinks him just a second, just like, ooh, hang on, and then just, like, points.
Interesting.
well, there goes our gals. So,
Sorry, I'm like near the end of my wick, so I didn't catch what was said.
Oh, well, they just flew off to that way.
The gate?
The witches.
Oh, the witches.
Yeah.
Oh, we saw them?
Yes, they flew off in a direction.
Oh, okay.
Like I saw them pass in front of the moon.
Yeah, Valakar's pointing it out. You all look up and you see them sort of flying off into the distance. Valakar, to you, it did look like they flew off from probably where the mill's location was.
Ah, shit.
Told you.
You figure, yeah, it does look like that's where they fucking came from. So,
All right. Well, off we go to the mill.
clean up whatever stupid mess they left behind, I guess.
I guess we continue going.
All
mean-
right. I didn't know if anyone had another interjection. So you make your way, it's probably another maybe 20, 30 minutes of walking before you make it to clearly the mill. It's a water-powered mill. The river kind of cuts through the forest. It has a rickety water wheel that is still turning. It's several sort of long buildings that are together on stilts. There's still plenty of logs and things that were left behind. There's a lot of sort of broken up sort of bits of log everywhere. There's a few other buildings around that seem to be like outhouses and mess halls and administrative buildings. But then there is the actual mill itself. It is bathed in moonlight, trickling down through the trees' leaves. This place has clearly been left here for maybe about 10 years. Um, and as you enter the sort of go beyond the little gate that they have that kind of denotes the edge of the property, there is a 3-degree drop in temperature. It very clearly feels like the air is different here. Something has been done.
Uh, Velikar, after you.
Oh, what? So I get to go first now? I mean, meh, fuck it.
Well, you are the strongest out of all of us.
Cute. Compliments aren't going to get you anywhere with me. That's more Lila's thing.
I've noticed.
Hmm.
All
I
right.
guess we'll peek inside. I don't fucking know.
Which building are you peeking inside?
Uh, the big business end looking one, I guess. Where all the log cutty stuff happens.
Oh God.
All right. So you do enter the sort of log cutting building. It's clear that this had a long saw that would move from side to side as done by the sort of water mill. It can be connected up to the mechanism and unconnected, and it's currently unconnected. It looks like this place, it wasn't abandoned in a hurry like Red Tower was. It was more of eventually closed.
Hmm.
So there isn't, just stuff laying everywhere. However, if anyone would like to make an investigation check as you come into this place, there's still quite a lot of logs that have been piled up.
I got a natural 20, so that's a 28.
All
My
right.
passive is a 16. I can use passive.
All
I only
right.
got an 18 on mine.
I did bad.
Okay. So as you all are kind of wandering around this mill, it creaks and the breeze sort of hits certain like holes in between boards and whistles a little bit, causing you all to kind of look around as this place has this eerie feeling that is beginning to seep in. But you pass by a station. It looks like a sort of sharpening station where they would sharpen the saws, hand axes, that sort of thing. And sitting on one of the tables is a jug. It has multiple spouts coming out of it. If anyone would like to make an Arcana check, just based on just memory.
Sure.
14, I guess.
I got a
Got
13.
18.
All right.
Oh my. Yeah, that's not really.
This is an alchemy jug. It dispenses various different things. But on closer inspection, you would notice that one of them, the one that's labeled actually very nicely with this beautiful sort of gold paint, this beautiful cursive. It seems that the oil is the one that is used the most. Most of the other ones, the corks look like they've just not been touched.
Hmm.
But from the way that the cork was kind of repeatedly uncorked and jammed in and uncorked and jammed in and uncorked and jammed in, the oil was the one that was the most used, presumably as part of the sharpening process. But there is a alchemy jug sitting there on that little table.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
Hmm.
I guess we can stick this in the bag of holding?
Which one?
What else does it have besides oil? Wait, do we all have a bag of holding now?
Yeah.
I've given everyone a bag of holding. Everyone has a
I
bag
think
of
so.
holding.
I think
Well, it's like
Adrien was the only one that wasn't given a bag of holding, but he came with a bag of holding.
um like I could make an alchemy. Well, if I take the infusion next level up, I can just make alchemy jugs. But if we get one anyway, there's saves me from taking the infusion to make it.
Ew, it can make mayonnaise.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
yeah, all of you would know it can produce 8 ounces of acid, half an ounce of a basic poison, 4 gallons of beer, a gallon of honey, 2 gallons of mayonnaise, a quart of oil, which is what they were most likely using the alchemy jug for, 2 gallons of vinegar, which they might have used, who knows, 8 gallons of fresh water, 12 gallons of salt water, and 1 gallon of wine.
Okay,
I mean, that's a party in a jug.
Yeah.
sure. Why
You
not?
know what you could do with that much mayonnaise?
Make a lot of sandwiches.
I quite literally have no response to that question.
That implies some things about Chauncey that I'm not sure we want to dig into right now.
I don't.
And possibly Jed.
Well, maybe.
I mean,
Y'all are filthy. It's a good hair treatment.
besides the mayonnaise jar, not much out of the ordinary so far, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. So, next building.
As you all continue, you find this door is completely unlocked, and it is kind of an administrative center. There's some hurricane lanterns on some desks, in a sort of open room where there's about 3 or 4 desks that have all been emptied. It seems they didn't care to take the furniture with them, but they took most of the paperwork. And if anyone would like to roll an investigation check in here.
Sure.
Sure.
17.
17.
24.
Ooh, 24 for Valakar.
Yeah.
Bad.
15.
Bad.
Bad.
I only got a 15.
All right.
How about
So all of you
buddy?
definitely find tucked into one of the corners in one of the sort of wooden closets that's at the end where people would put their wardrobe and things like that. There is an axe sitting there. It's a little hand axe. It's not
Oh
very
boy.
big, but for its age and the aging of all of the stuff around it, it looks like it was made yesterday. So it was clearly something.
Hmm.
I'm
Okay.
just gonna casually
Ghost axe.
Sorry?
Ghost axe? We're all thinking it's a ghost axe.
Oh yeah, well I was just gonna say I'm just gonna casually step behind Valakar.
Detect magic, please.
All right, you cast Detect Magic. Yeah, the axe is magical. There's also a glow coming from behind you in one of the desks, which Valakar very easily finds, opening one of the drawers. Your strength, you open it and you think it's the drawer is just caught. And you pull, and there's a crack of wood as a small mechanism with a few pieces of metal in it goes flying. And you realize as you put the drawer on the table, there was a secret compartment inside this drawer that has 3 bottles in it of varying colors and 2 scrolls in it.
Well, I don't know what any of that was, but that over there looks like my kind of thing.
The axe.
Yes, he's pointing at the axe.
So yes,
Yeah.
you have
Um,
3 mysterious potions and 2 mysterious scrolls.
Would it be an insight check or an investigation check?
It would be an identify spell.
I was going to say, does anybody have identify?
I do have the identify spell. I'll identify.
All right.
I'll do it as a ritual, though, if we can spare the 10 minutes.
Yeah, screw it.
All right. One of them is a potion of hill giant strength. One of them is a potion of climbing. Another is a potion of growth. And then the two spell scrolls are scrolls of tree stride.
Scrolls of tree stride. Interesting.
And the axe is an axe of warning.
Oh, lovely.
Isn't tree stride when you're able to transport from one tree to another?
Yes, but it's very short range. It's not like transport via plants, which is a higher level druid spell that can allow you to step out of any plant anywhere.
Right.
Tree stride, I believe, is only 500 feet. And I think it's a druid only spell, which is the only issue, because none of you can use these two scrolls.
It's druid and ranger.
Druid and ranger. All right. So technically, if one of you, for some odd reason, takes a level in druid or ranger, you'd be able to read it and cast it. But
just give me the level 12 or 13 and I can use it.
Oh, because the okay.
Artificers ignore all magic item requirements once they hit a high enough level.
I remember that.
True.
Good enough with magic items, it doesn't matter anymore.
So as you have been messing around with this place for a while, you notice the temperature begin to drop by a few degrees. It becomes noticeable. The light becomes dimmer. And that eerie feeling gets worse.
Can I prepare a spell if something shows up?
All right, what spell are you preparing?
Oh, the minute something goes flying, I want to cast haste on myself.
All right.
Can I do what's that new spell that I got? The thing?
Oh, motivational speech?
There it is. Motivational speech. Yeah.
How long does that take to cast?
1 minute?
All right. Go for it.
Okay.
How is Valakar casting motivational speech? And also remind me what motivational speech does, because I know you told me at the very, very beginning.
Yeah. So
in the pre-show, but
Valakar will do oh god, yeah, he's not really great at this. So I don't know, something like
all right, tighten your taints. I think it's time to fuck some shit up.
Yeah, so that's his motivational speech. It's terrible. It motivates absolutely nobody, except for it's also magical. So yeah, you guys all get 5 temp HP. You have advantage on wisdom saves, and when you are hit, you have advantage on your next attack roll.
Ooh,
nice.
Awesome.
I'd like to prepare a scorching ray.
Awesome. So, as you finish, there's a moment, almost like half a second, before there's a scream from outside and the door gets blown off, tumbling into the room. And there's about 6 axes embedded into this door as it's just smashed open. And standing in the middle of the clearing is a huge humanoid shape wielding a giant axe. It does look a lot like a lumberjack. It even has like a tattered flannel on, but it also appears to be made mostly out of shadows, glowing red eyes as it shrieks again, and it begins to raise its axe.
And I believe,
yep, so you get haste, and I believe, Jed, you get your scorching ray.
Hell yeah.
Get that haste.
I do
and
3 attacks.
Yes.
Adrien
29 to hit, 23 to hit, and 14 to hit.
The 14 does not hit.
Cool.
So 2 of them do hit.
All right, that is 10, 20 fire damage.
20 fire damage. All right. And so at this point, I'm going to need everybody to roll initiative.
Boom, and I just got a hand axe of warning, which does not require attunement.
Yes.
21.
6 for Adrien, 21 for Valacar,
I also got 21.
I got 5.
21
Nice.
for Jed, and 5 for Chauncey.
What up? I'm 5.
So I can never quite
Yeah,
remember.
he's got a 15.
Okay, I was about to say, one of you always goes first when you all tie, which you two tie quite a lot, apparently. I don't know how. Um, all right. So Jed's going. All right. So it is Jed first, then Lyla, then the ghost.
Cool.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna do another scorching ray.
All right.
And we're gonna do this one at a 3rd level. So I'm gonna do 4 attacks on this one. The first one is a 14 to hit.
Doesn't hit.
The second one's a 23 to hit.
That hits.
Third one is a 19 to hit.
That hits.
Fourth one's a 21 to hit.
That hits. So you hit 3 times.
Okay, he takes 23 and then 29, 34 fire damage.
Oof.
And then I'm going to quicken spell a firebolt.
All right.
Oop, that's a 12 to hit.
Yeah, that does not hit.
But I go with a bunch of fire, and that's my turn.
All right. At the end of your turn, one of the logs rises up and seems to turn and aim itself before firing forward directly at you, Jed. And I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as this huge log just comes straight through the door directly at you.
That's a 10.
All right. So you are going to be taking some damage. Let me
Cool.
see how much. I think this
Also,
one's
I
big.
think since it's just the party here and there's nobody else, I'm just Jedidiah. I am not Virgil.
Yeah.
The fact that 2 out of 4 of us have alternate egos is occasionally confusing in social situations.
Oof. You're going to be taking 31 points of bludgeoning damage as you are
Jesus.
slammed with this log. It splinters apart, going everywhere,
Okay.
causing you to stumble as you were just slammed with this log. And now it's Valakar's turn.
Oof. Okay. Let's
This thing
see
is not
here.
fucking around.
Yeah, no, it's not. Jeez. Okay. Let's what does Valakar want to do? Hmm. Yeah, let's do that. I am going to wait, let me double check what that Bardic debuff does. Where is it? Unsettling words. I think it's just a saving throw. Yeah, and I really want attacks. Yeah. Okay. Let's do a
Oh, by the way, if your detect magic is still up, Chauncey, the ghost's
Yeah.
axe is magical.
Okay. I mean, I think Detect Magic would have fallen when I hasted myself because I think they're both concentration spells.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Up with the axe, I probably could have clocked it as being magical before I went limit break mode.
Sure.
I think Valakar is just gonna Hex Eldritch Blast it. He's aggressive. We'll do it.
All right.
We're gonna go a Hex Eldritch Blast. Is a Hex a saving I think it is a save.
No, hex just happens.
No, hex is just hex.
Yeah, just hex just
Just
happens.
happens.
It's not a saving
Hex
throw.
just happens. All right, cool. So then, yeah, well, Hex Eldritch Blast. Let me roll that boy.
You get to pick an ability score to make sucky for him. Or ability check, I guess.
Oh, true. Let's go strength. I don't
All
know.
right. So
Also
that's
that
only ability checks, right? So not like
Correct.
Yeah.
saving
not
throws
saving
or
throws.
attack rolls, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay, so two beams. First one is a 23, second one is an 11. I'm pretty
11
sure
does
that
not
doesn't
hit.
Yeah. First one is a oh god. 6 plus, well, I still get the D6 necro, which probably isn't going to do a whole lot to an undead. Total of 10. And if you need the necro split, that was 4.
Nope. He takes the necrotic damage, surprisingly. All right. And is that the end of your turn?
Yep. Oh, shit on that one.
Cool. You
Oh,
watch. Oh,
move like away from it. Yeah.
all right. How far do you move away from him?
Much range as I can get. Let's go 30 feet.
All right. So it's now the ghost's turn. So you watch as shadows seem to flow into his body as very obvious wounds caused by the burning from the fire and the blasting from the eldritch blast begin to heal up over his body. And unfortunately, he has gotten his BS hurl stuff ability. Um, who is in the doorway that hasn't been hit? I think it would be
I haven't been hit.
so Adrien. Ooh,
Uh-huh.
this one's gonna be something. I also need you to make a dexterity saving throw as suddenly from the shadows axes begin flying at you. What did you get on your saving throw?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What did you get on your saving throw?
9.
Okay. So these axes all slam into you. Do. Yikes. Okay, so I'm gonna roll damage for that. It's not gonna be as much as the log.
Okay, question.
One moment.
Mhm.
So you're only going to take 12 slashing damage as these axes fly by you, slicing you up. However, these axes feel different. There's something about them as they slash through you. Your wounds are not closing up. The blood is flowing out in a way that blood should not flow out.
Mm-mm.
These
Great.
axes are very dangerous. However, that is unfortunately not the end of his turn, as that only replaces one of his attacks. He's
Oh
going to
my
use his
God.
30 feet to move up to you all in the doorway. And let me. Oh, oof. I didn't read something. So Jed, you are left reeling from that log directly to the face, and you are incapacitated until this creature's next turn.
Cool. It means no actions, right?
Yep. Um, so he's going to come up with his axe. And I think, yeah, he's gonna try and split up the damage. So he's actually gonna try and hit you, Chauncey, which is probably not a good idea, but he doesn't know that. So he's gonna try and hit you with his axe. I'm assuming an 18 does not hit.
Not with haste up. With haste up, my AC is 20.
You quickly dart out of the way as this axe hits into the ground, sending splinters everywhere. And now that is the end of his turn. So next up is going to be Adrien, followed by Chauncey.
Above game,
I'm
just
gonna
really
cap.
quick, was the log attack that hit Jed an attack, or was that a save?
It was a save.
Okay, never mind.
I'm going to cast Witch Bolt.
Cool. Give me that roll, since I think it's an attack roll and then an action to keep zapping.
I got a 27.
Awesome. That
Nice.
hits as you conjure this lightning and send it crackling outward towards your target. How much lightning damage is this thing taking?
That is going to be 22 damage.
Ooh, good chunky amount of damage.
Roll me.
Revenge, baby.
Also, however, you, as you're sort of channeling this magic, your wounds are starting to hurt a lot.
Oh no.
You're going to take 10 points of necrotic damage as you keep bleeding.
There goes everybody's temp HP.
Ooh, I still got mine.
So then, following Adrien, unless you have something else, will be Chauncey, who is
All right.
hasted.
I'm gonna take my first swing at him with the Pyre Maul.
All
Does
right.
a dirty 20 hit?
A dirty
Sure.
20 does hit.
Do you need me to separate magical bludgeoning or fire from anything?
No, I do not.
Okay. That's 18 points of damage on that hit.
All right.
We're gonna swing our second attack at him. That is a 26 to hit.
26 hits.
That is going to be 20 points of damage on that hit.
All right.
We're gonna swing at him again with my hasted attack.
Awesome.
Do it.
That is a 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
And I'm going to hit him with these, and I'm going to roll something else. That's another 20 points of damage on him on that one. And I'm going to also Arcane Jolt, but I'm going to shoot some electricity out of the end of Pyre Maul at Jed.
Love it.
Oh,
He's going to regain 6 hit points.
all
Ooh.
right. Jed is regaining 6 hit points. And how much damage did you do to Old Ghosty?
Another 20.
Okay, 20. All right. So at the
Respectable 58 points of damage. Bonus action.
Oh, yes.
Haley Post flying in the air to force dart him.
Awesome.
18 plus my spell attack bonus, which should put it at 26.
That'll hit.
And he's going to take just a modest 7 points of force damage off that.
All right.
Pretty nice for Taily Poe.
Ouchie,
Yeah,
wouchie. That was a
decent
lot.
number, plus my
Um,
proficiency. Lovey May and Chauncey are right up in front of him. Lovey May, since she didn't attack, technically takes the dodge action, and she can take her reaction to give him disadvantage on an attack.
Cool. At the end of your turn, he's going to take legendary action.
There it is.
And one of the boards on in the floor rips out of the floor at the back of the room and fires itself forward. And Chauncey, I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
I get to make those with advantage because of haste.
Ah, yes.
Fuck this Trixie bitch.
As he sees the thing come flying.
I got what's my dex save? Just +2. I got a 12 with advantage.
Oh my
Yay.
goodness. Despite your speed, this thing catches you by surprise. This huge, heavy wooden board slams into you, and you're going to be taking quite a bit of damage.
Oh, hey, Chauncey. Duck.
What you doing?
Are you doing a reaction to that or no?
No, I was just saying duck after you got hit.
Okay.
Oh, just being an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just being a dick.
Only 14 points of bludgeoning damage. It was quite a small board, but you are now incapacitated until the end of this thing's next turn. And that means we are back up to the top with Jed, who unfortunately you are incapacitated.
Yeah.
And then it goes down to Valakar.
Oh my god. Okay. Jeez. I feel like I'm gonna knock this thing down a peg. Already concentrating on Hex. Let's see. Yeah. I don't really have heals, so I feel like that's maybe the best we can do. Let's try that. Let's do a mind sliver.
Mind Sliver, all right.
Yeah, if we can flourish an imbued fairy. No, not fairy fire. Tasha's hideous laughter.
Atasha's Hideous Laughter.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Try this. So mind sliver, I need an intelligence.
Intelligence.
Mhm.
Oh. It's going to be a 12.
That is a failure. Okay, so that is a, does that damage increase? Yeah. Okay, so that's 5 points of psychic damage. It gets a minus D4 on its next save, and then we're going to flourish that imbued Tasha's. And then I will need a wisdom minus a D4.
Wisdom minus a D4. Okay. He's going to use his legendary resistance to succeed.
Fabulous. Of course he is. That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right. Well, that's one legendary resistance down.
True.
Does that still eat up the minus D4?
I think it does.
I think it would too, actually.
Because he has to roll the roll to see if he fails before he can use his legendary
then he-
resistance, and
True.
then he uses his legendary resistance, so it got applied, and then
And then, yeah. Okay. Well,
Yep.
Dick. That was a fucking great turn for Valakar there. Yep. We're good.
All right. So it's his turn, and fortunately for you all, he did not get his magic bullshit back. But you do watch as shadows flow into his body and begin to heal him. And he is actually going to, because most of you all are either magic or incapacitated until the end of his turn, is actually going to break away from the group and stalk towards you, Valakar, before making 2 attacks.
Go for it, bitch.
All right. So that's going to be a 25
We
and another
will...
25.
Jesus. Okay. Well, one of those I will unsettling visage. So yeah, that'll be round 2 for using that ability. And the first time I think Jed's seeing it. So you didn't get the descriptor last time. Yeah. Valakar's face like sinks in, it shrinks a little bit. His eyes go like deep and black, pale skin, shock of like straight pink hair. It just like it's a sudden flash of a transformation, and he just hisses with this huge mouth that's like too big for his face, filled with little shark teeth. So disadvantage on one of those.
All right. That's going to be a natural 1, surprisingly, as he sort of leaps back a little bit, confused, before, with a renewed fervor of this thing must be killed, drives his axe straight down into you.
All right, we will take one of those.
All right, so that's going to be, if I can get out the right dice. So that's going to be 15 points of slashing damage, and the blow was so heavy, your speed is reduced by 10 feet.
Okay.
Until the start of this creature's next turn.
Is that the best you got? You know, Valakar says some shit like that. He's like feeling a little pumped from motivational speech. Since he got hit with an attack, he actually finally somebody gets to have advantage on attack from that.
True. All right. So we go to Adrien and then Chauncey.
I am going to cast Phantasmal Killer.
All right.
Are you breaking your
Are you breaking your Witch Bolt?
Yeah.
You're breaking your Witch Bolt? Okay. Phantasmal Killer. What's the saving throw?
Wisdom 16.
Oh wow. He rolled a 16, so he gets an 18.
Are you kidding me?
And I already used my reaction for Unsettling Visage.
You did.
Can I not have... Never mind.
I'll do a silvery barbs.
Wait, let me check something.
So I'm no longer incapacitated.
Hey,
Oh,
there we go.
yes. You are
I'm
not.
only
All
one
right,
that has
silvery
silvery
barbs
barbs.
for the say. Okay.
I just hiss at him.
So that's going to be a 7, but he's going to use his second legendary resistance.
Who gets the advantage off silvery barbs?
Do you want it? Do you want it, babe?
Please.
Okay, you can have it.
Please, Daddy, give me advantage, Daddy.
So did it actually end up succeeding?
No, he
Or...
failed,
failed.
but he used a legendary resistance to succeed, and so.
Okay.
But hey,
good.
that's one legendary resistance down. Legendary resistances can be a bitch.
They're
So
both, we used two, so
Yeah, typically creatures can have up to 3 of them, and they only get them once, like the 3 a day. So we can burn through one
technically
more.
there's creatures that have 4, but they have like a CR of 30, so it doesn't really matter.
Jesus.
I've never seen a
creatures
creature with 4 legendary resistances. Goddamn.
Bahamut, Tiamat. I think there's a Kraken in
Oh.
Theros that has 4. Like those are the type of creatures I'm talking about. Creatures that I'm not going to put you up against right now.
I did face Tiamat once. You're right. You're right.
All right.
Yeah. So that's the end of your turn, Adrien.
Unless you'd like to move.
I guess I'll move further away from it.
Because he came up to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he moved into the building.
Hmm.
So yeah, you move back. And he actually gets his legendary actions back because he took his turn. So at the end of your turn, Adrien, he is going to cause axes to fly at you, Valakar, from the shadows. So I'm going to need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Ew, I'm good at these. Doesn't matter if you roll dog shit. That's a 12.
Yep, so you're going to be taking some damage.
Ugh.
How much damage is it? Okay. Ooh.
Wait, you got a 12, right?
I did.
Chauncey's just gonna shout, Valakar, duck! I'm gonna use
Your
what-
thing.
Spark of Ingenuity or whatever it is.
Something
yeah,
about it.
the name
Flash
of it
of-
is the
Flash of Genius.
Flash of Genius. So you get a 17, motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
Unfortunately, that is still not enough.
Oh, eat my ass. That's a bunch of horse shit.
I tried.
So you're going to take 19 points of slashing damage as these axes just pelt you from the shadows. And once again, you feel the same thing that Adrien has felt. There is something very wrong with these axes. The metal is a bit too cold. The blood flows a bit too freely. Something is very deeply wrong. And that's going to be the end. And we move on to Chauncey. You were incapacitated.
His turn already passed, though. So I shouldn't be incapacitated anymore. He said it was till the end of his next turn. He just took his next turn since I've been
Oh,
incapacitated.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
does.
did.
Yeah,
Well,
Because
that's
it was
a
during
bitch.
a
Okay.
legendary action that he did it.
Yeah, he did it on that
And then
because
he
he was
took
just
his
too
turn.
ready to kill you.
Yeah.
He
Okay,
was too
so-
excited to kill you. So, yep, you get a turn.
Chauncey and Lovey May are gonna dodge or just dart over there. And while he moves, I'm gonna use my bonus action to actually cast Branding Smite.
Ooh,
We're gonna add more D6s to my hit.
good lord.
Do it.
And I get advantage on this hit.
Yes, you do.
It's a magic sugar daddy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, that's only a 16 to hit.
That unfortunately does not hit.
Fortunately, Branding Smite just goes for the next time I hit somebody. So we're going to
True.
swing again. Attack number 2.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 27 to hit.
That'll hit, which means that'll trigger the branding smite.
Okay. Do I need to separate the radiant damage from the Branding Smite?
Oh, it's radiant damage.
Yep.
No,
Yes.
you do not need to separate it out. However, it is nice to know that that was radiant damage. If this thing survives, it'll come into effect.
17, and then so 17, and then 7 radiant damage is 24, plus the flat 5 is 29.
I don't think
And
it's surviving.
I'm going to also throw an arcane jolt. Well, no, yeah, I'll throw an arcane jolt on it. 29 plus another 8 is 37 points of damage.
Oh, he is not looking too hot. The shadows are flickering. The form is tattering. He
I'm
does
going to
not
use
look
my
too good.
third attack.
Third attack.
16 again. I rolled a fucking 5 again.
That does not hit, unfortunately.
And I use my bonus action to get my smite going. So that's all I got, folks.
All right. So we are back up to the top with Jed as your head finally stops spinning and you reassess the situation. So many people are bleeding. There's wood and axes everywhere. This creature is up in Valakar's business with this giant blade. Chauncey's behind him with the hammer, having just tried to swipe through him only to find air. What you doing?
We're gonna start off with just a firebolt,
All right.
and that's a natural 20.
All right. How much base damage does your firebolt do at that point? Like max damage?
20. 25 actually.
Okay. You shoot it clean through the head and the ghost disapparates, but the axe clang hits the wooden floor very loudly. This big old woodsman's axe.
I almost had him.
You're telling me? And then, because Chauncey's just like, he's like tweaking a little because he still has haste going up. It looks like a Final Fantasy character who's doing his idle animation too fast still.
Oh, yeah. Also, the two of you that got hit with axes,
Oh no.
y'all are still bleeding.
Fun.
Is that a condition?
Unfortunately, yes.
Okay, well, hang on.
Everybody takes 9 points of necrotic damage. Well, the two of you that are bleeding, Valakar and Adrien, take 9 points of necrotic damage.
I can live with that. We have. Does that do stuff? No, that just cures poison and disease.
Oh, technically, it's not a condition. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing.
It's like an effect of the attack.
How long does this shit last? Am I just bleeding forever now?
You don't know. I mean, you
Could
can try
I-
things.
Could I try a lesser restoration on Valakar?
Let me read.
Yeah.
You certainly
Let's
can.
tell.
I'm not going to say no.
It cures one disease or condition affecting it.
He's like poking a
Can-
finger into it, like,
I don't think that looks right to you.
This huge axe wound. Lesser restoration as you cast it does not work. The wounds do not close. They are still bleeding.
Can I identify the axe that was dropped?
Yes, you most certainly may. Are you using a spell slot or are you using a ritual?
I'll use a spell slot just to have it happen quick so I can figure out if that has anything to do with these two bleeding the fuck out.
I think is dizzy.
Adrien is just on the floor, very woozy.
Still bleeding. So yeah, this thing, as you cast this on this axe, it is a berserker axe, which means it's cursed.
Yay.
Let me flip over to it so I can read it real quick for you. So you don't have to type it all in. And also it's on the podcast.
Berserker Great Axe.
Berserker Axe. And yes, it would be a great axe.
Yep, found it.
So you get a +1 to attack and damage rolls. It is a magical weapon, and your hit point increases by 1. Your hit point maximum increases by 1 for each level attain that you have attained. So anyone who attunes this would get an extra 9 hit points because you all are level 9 currently.
Yeah.
However, the axe is cursed, and becoming attuned to it extends the curse to you. As long as you remain cursed, you are unwilling to part with the axe, keeping it within reach at all times. You also have disadvantage on attack rolls with weapons other than this one, unless no foe is within 60 feet of you that you can see or hear. Whenever a hostile creature damages you while the axe is in your possession, you must succeed on a DC 15 wisdom save or go berserk. While berserk, you must use your action each round to attack the creature nearest to you with the axe. If you can make extra attacks as part of the attack action, you use those extra attacks, moving to attack the next creature after you fell your current target. If you have multiple possible targets, you attack one at random. You are berserk until you start your turn with no creatures within 60 feet of you that you can see or hear. And that is the axe.
It's cursed. Jed, this thing's cursed.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on Adrien.
Thank you.
All right.
Cure Wounds is a D8 plus my spellcasting modifier. 12 points, 12 hit points.
Your wounds seal up. However, Valakar, because that was not the case for you, you're taking 14 points of necrotic damage.
Oh god. Okay, yeah, he's like sliding down a wall here and just like this. Oh.
Adrien, however, your wounds have closed. You are no longer bleeding. You do not need to take that 14 points. You can just take the healing and you are done bleeding.
So we just need to give you
A magical
a
heal.
large amount of healing.
Yeah.
I'll cast a 3rd level Cure Wounds.
Oh god.
All right, so you're going to take that healing and your wounds close up.
You can get... God, Cure Wounds is a shitty spell. 14 points of healing.
Okay.
They need to change how healing works.
As the healing is applied to Valakar, like he's still sliding down that wall, like thumps on the ground, but by the time he makes it down to the ground, and the whatever healing light like dissipates, it's Aiden sitting there,
Aww.
and he just Chauncey, he just like puts his arms out.
Oh.
Chauncey's Cure Wounds is not magical fire bullshit like Jed's. It's just like, here's a fucking bandage. I'm wrapping it. It's a magical bandage, but it's a bandage still. Like, I wove this, and then he's like, "Oh here, finish this one up, will you?" Chauncey's gonna hand you the rest of a bandage wrap as he goes over to check on the spell. Still cast, but he's gonna go over and pick Aiden up. Oh, buddy. Why did you come out?
I thought Valakar was gonna do better, and then he didn't, and I don't like it.
Oh, well, we won, right? That Chauncey's like carrying this small child now.
Is it dead?
I'm pretty sure he's dead again, and we got a cursed axe for it too.
I would not touch that.
It is pretty cool, I guess.
I mean, I wonder if I could use it.
I don't think I can pick it up. It's a little bit big. So.
Yeah, it is like a two-handed, like woodsman's axe. Kind of a little bit like a battle axe, but not two-sided, one-sided with a sort of curve in it for comfortable holding and swinging.
The rest of you can't even use like actual martial weapons. So Johnson's like,
nope.
Can I fit this in? Could I fit this in a bag of holding?
Yeah, you can put it in the bag of holding
We're gonna store that for later.
if you're willing to deal with the curse.
We could always trick someone into using it.
This mystery mouse tool will come in use later.
Mm,
Of course.
God damn it. I love it.
All right. So you notice over the course of the several minutes that you all have been patching yourselves up, the air has returned to a normal temperature for nighttime.
Oh, if we're calling, can we call this a short rest real quick?
Yeah, you all can take a short rest if you would like.
So, let's say Aiden is recuperating, he's recovering, and he's entertaining himself with a little song. He's just humming a little, and that's a song of rest. So if anybody uses temp 8 or hit die, you can regain an extra D8.
Oh, thanks. I'll burn a hit die on that. Why not?
How would I apply that? Because it's saying it's a 1d6 plus 3 for me.
You take so you go on to short rest and then select the amount of hit die you want to use. Click on take short rest, confirm, and then actually I roll the D8.
Yeah, and then it's added afterwards because it's its own thing. And it doesn't have the functionality to click like Song of Rest and whatever. Because yeah. So you'd be adding it as if you were healed by a healing spell, as opposed to rolling a hit die, but you have to use hit die to benefit from it.
And I mean it's only an extra 2, but it's 2.
It's 2 hit points.
So do I just add like 2 hit points?
After you've done all your short rest stuff, then yeah, you would add 2 hit points.
Take short rest.
So
I think
now
I'm
that you've taken your short rest, what would you all like to do?
I feel like during this, like, even though there's obviously still like last night, Chauncey just like slightly leans towards Jed and he's like, is it me or is Aiden better at music than Lyla?
I thought I was the only one who was thinking that.
Yeah, I wonder if all of the others are better at music than Lyla.
Wow, okay.
We need to test this theory. Science! We have to test this theory. I'm going to get each of them to sing something while they're out. We'll find out.
There we go. Now I got it.
Let me try. I'm going to charm Aiden into singing for us.
You're gonna do
Well, he
what?
already did.
Sorry?
That he already did. That was the Song of Rest.
I did sing for you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, we were making the joke that he's better at singing than Lyla is.
Which is hilarious because he was just making cute noises.
Oh,
He's a what, 7-year-old child?
He's 10, I think.
You made him something either just over double digits or under double digits.
8. No, he's 8. He is 8. Yeah.
So we were both wrong.
Mhm.
I knew he was super young.
Yeah. He likes Chauncey's toys and monsters and cool magic stuff and explosions and candy.
Oh, Chauncey's gonna like rifle through his bag and then just pull out the Zorn plushie he made ages ago and hand it to Aiden.
Yeah. No, 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 no.
All right. So as you all finish your long rest, I would say just walking around the mill, fighting the ghost, having the short rest. It's probably around midnight.
So
Definitely past Aiden's bedtime.
yeah.
Yeah, we should definitely get back to the inn.
Is Aiden like passed out?
I mean, he's probably feeling pretty sleepy, but like a piggyback ride, we would not be upset about at all.
I'll give him a piggyback ride.
All right. So you eventually meander your way back to town. It's probably around 12:30, 12:45 once you make it back. And you do actually see, kind of waiting up for a little bit, packing up some stuff, is the Goliath bartender. And he looks up and he goes, "Well, how'd you do?"
A few scrapes and bruises here, but it's all settled.
It is?
Yes, the ghost is gone.
Do you have any proof? Do you have any proof it's gone?
I'm gonna
Chauncey?
Chauncey's just gonna like set the half sleeping child onto a stool real quick and then just out of his bag of holding pull out this giant cursed axe.
He picks up the axe and
Don't hold that for too long.
looks it over. I figured. And he sets the axe down. Well, deal's a deal. And he turns and he takes the sword off the wall as well as the paper and rips it up. And he hands you all a sword, a long sword of dragon slaying.
What's that do?
It deals extra damage to dragons.
Hmm?
It's not great as a regular weapon, but it is pretty good if you, for some odd reason, have to go up against a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Let me look because it does like a butt ton of extra damage.
Yeah.
An
Here we
extra
go.
3d6 of slashing damage.
Uh-huh.
But only against dragons.
Yeah.
Yep. Any creature with a dragon type, including dragon turtles and wyverns.
Yes.
Jones just gonna put it in his bag of nobody else here knows how to swing a damn sword, so
I also don't think it requires attunement, so your attunement slot is still free.
Yep.
heck yeah.
It just does its thing.
Yeah. Well, I don't really talk about this much, but thank you. That means that my uncle can finally find peace.
Oh,
Oh.
he was your uncle.
Why didn't you tell us when we went over there?
People heard about him had an anger problem, drinking problem. People already don't think very highly of me because of it. Kind of sins of the father sort of thing. And I tend to not tell people because of that. Might start some nasty rumors or other things like that, but I've been trying to get his axe back so I can bury it with him. Hopefully send him off to the afterlife, wherever that afterlife may be.
Wait, you want the axe? The axe is cursed. I don't feel comfortable giving you that axe.
Well, if it's buried, then perhaps burying it will
Uh,
break the curse. Perhaps no one will dig it up. But
I think it's safer with us.
roll me a persuasion check.
14 plus 2, and then let me see, it's plus 2 because of my charisma. No, plus 1, 15. I'm gonna flash of genius to make it a dirty 20, and Chauncey's gonna be like, if I take the axe with me, I'll be able to study the properties of imbuing curses into items to potentially break the curse, or know how to situate and deal with further cursed items.
I guess you're right. Hopefully, just you destroying the ghost will help my uncle find peace in the afterlife. Just don't hurt anyone with it. I don't really want any more of this drama in my life. And he puts the axe back on the other side of the table, well, the other side of the bar.
Into the bag.
Accomplished.
So now you have a berserker axe and a sword of dragon slaying.
We're just casually creating an armory.
Oh no, like when I first made Chauncey into a Battlesmith, I was like, I think he's familiar with the anime fairy tale Ezra Scarlet,
Yes.
who
Yeah.
changes her
Urza.
armor and weapons,
Urza.
was like the initial idea.
Yes.
Of course, now I'm just imagining Chauncey dressed up as Urza.
I mean, female fantasy armor on Chauncey would be a sight to see.
Requip.
Berserker Axe.
Love it.
And that's all in the bag.
Especially because in a few levels I can use any magic item, so like I'm Holy Avenger, baby.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna be amazeballs.
Normally
We'll
only
see.
can use them.
Yeah. Well,
How many rooms do you have for us?
I think I have there's 6 rooms. They're cramped, but no one's sleeping in them currently. They're all vacant. So I'll let you have them for free, just for everything you've done. Sounded like you weren't gonna do it for a moment, but
We're happy to take the rooms. Thank you.
all right. Well, here's the keys. How many rooms do you want? Do you want one for each of you, or
Yeah, Aiden's already
Yeah.
sleeping. He's like on the
Yeah.
stool.
That's probably for the best.
and he hands you each 4 keys, and you all head up to your rooms, and you all bed down for a long rest that is thankfully, undisturbed by outsiders or strange dreams or other such things. And that is actually going to be a very good time to end this week's episode. So join us next week as they continue deeper into Amarillo, chasing after the gunpowder witches. What abilities do they have? How many of them are there? And can they finally get some of them alive and not completely kill them like they do with everything else? Time will tell. So I will see you all next week.